Yeah, I haven't.
So you're gonna feel a bit lost on today's class because we're
Yeah,
gonna continue on the penetration test. Okay, I'm gonna
yeah,
try my
very
best to like fast track you from where we were to where you currently are. So I believe
okay.
maybe you will be able to get it. Okay.
Yeah,
So just a minute.
thank
Let
you.
me get the system up.
No problem.
Get you up to speed so we could go back. Meanwhile, what is going to be happening is I'm going to be setting up some couple of tools that is going to help this particular class we are in now. One of them is called Bob
Okay.
Suite. Bob Suite as
Bob Sheets, I've heard about it.
yes. Oh, not in this machine. Sorry, let me get the other machine. I have two machines running. Is on the first one. Okay. Turn off this.
Did you log in twice?
Is it on the Kali Linus or on the call?
No, no, no. On the call, I saw that you logged in twice.
I'm going off from one now.
Yeah, there we go.
Power off, then power off, then this. Let me start this one. Start this where all we need is in. So while it's loading up, we've gone past the IP addressing, the ports. Okay, you were not around. I think we did ports here last week.
Yeah, I wasn't around too.
So ports generally we had a full exposure on ports and why they are very important. For example, Gerard is here. Um, the ports, we say the port is a logical endpoint in a network communication that allows devices to connect to specific services, specific services running on a system, probably web server, email server. But your phone has ports, and generally, I think there are 535 number of ports available in a network device, and out of that 65,535, 1,000 of them is known. The rest are possibly ephemeral, like they are not fixed. For instance, when Microsoft wants to get something fed, it takes one out of the remaining 64,000 ports plus. It takes one, does what it wants
Yeah,
to do, then shuts down. Once it's done, it releases it for another service. So, but the
yeah,
1,000, I think that the first 1,000 that are known, those are more like designated ports. For example, port 80 is designated for HTTP. Okay, port 443
yeah.
is designated for HTTPS, which is secured version of HTTP. Then port 22 is designated for secure shell for remote logging in or remote accessing of the servers. So these more common ones that are the 1,000 or the ones that are common and known, with time as you walk in the field, you get to know
Yeah,
and memorize them. They'll come handy. So
yeah.
that's and also finding out ports. Knowing about ports, it helps to know the services that are running in a system and also helps you to know when your device is at risk. Because if you find out that port 22, which is for the secure shell or telnet port is open, that means it is eligible or it is open for exploit. So those kind of things also help you to uh, watch around and know if your system is vulnerable, at least on a basic scale. So what we're
Yeah.
trying to do is what you could be doing in the big industry or in the bigger scale. We are bringing it down in a home lab to make it as least possible for people to do the big things in little ways and have an experience of it.
Uh-huh.
So, so if you have time, you go through the last class. We did a lot of exposure on ports. Then we now moved into vulnerabilities, where we we talked about what are vulnerabilities. There are flaws in the systems that weaken the overall security of the device. Okay, and we moved into defining it more. We say that vulnerabilities can be exploited by threat actors such as attackers to cross privilege boundaries, that is to perform unauthorized actions with a computer system. They can also, one of their goals also is to spoil or have access to where they are not supposed to have access, etc. So how is it generally done? To exploit a vulnerability, an attacker must have at least one applicable tool or technique that can connect to a system's weakness. Let me say that again. To exploit a vulnerability, an attacker must have at least one applicable tool or technique that can connect to a system weakness. So in this frame, vulnerabilities are also known as attack surface. So the attack surface. So on this top here, to exploit a vulnerability, an attacker must have at least one applicable tool or technique that can connect to that weakness. Could you, Gerard? Could you, if you understand this, could you, break it down? Gerard, you're still on the call, right? If it's, oh, I think I dropped. An attacker must have at least one applicable tool or technique that can connect to a weakness, to a system's weakness. Can you explain it if you understand it?
To my own understanding, I think it's like okay. The system, of course, the attacker haven't identified the weaknesses or had identify a loophole on the system, which is the vulnerability. Will now make use of whatever should I call it technique or tool, depending on what he actually wants to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
to actually leverage on the weakness to
Mm-hmm.
actually penetrate and do the needful.
Okay, so we're going to see that happen practically now, uh, downwards. So in this frame, like I said, vulnerabilities are also known as attack surface. So types of vulnerabilities, there are a lot of them out there, but we are focusing on the first one, which is SQL injection. So we have cross-site scripting, broken authentication and session management, cross-site request forgery, insecure direct object references, secure security misconfiguration, insecure cryptographic storage, a lot of them. So, but for this practical, we're focusing on SQL injection, which we're going to see how it happens downwards. So the SQL injection is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with the queries that an application makes to its database. Let me say it again. SQL injection is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with the queries that an application makes to its database. So, Mr. Michael, can you enlighten this up as though you were explaining to children? Michael?
I can hear you. I'm just trying to
Okay, you're trying to
ensure
wrap
I
your
don't
head
stumble my
around
word.
it.
Yes,
let's,
yes,
let's
yes.
give it a shot. Let's see.
Yeah. Let's see. It's just one of the. It's one of the technique. Yeah, one of the technique I will use uses to disrupt applications, um, something like that,
Okay,
within a system if
I,
they're
I,
trying to
I would
cause
want
it.
you to focus on the last paragraph, if there is, that allows the attacker to
Mhm.
interfere with the queries that the
Okay.
application make to his database.
Okay. So applications talk to each other more or less. SQL injection helps the attacker to have access or obstruct that communication line more or less, or take control
Okay.
of the communication between
Hmm.
applications within a system
Hmm.
more or less.
Good. So, just to sum up on what you said, now the last class I explained it. In a way I said, for example, let's say you have a microfinance bank, and of course, when you have customers, they have database, and that database can contain, like, let's say, your name, your full name, your address, your card number, what else, etc. and etc. Right? It can also contain their ATM or their bank account number and everything. Now, when there is a vulnerability in this server or in this database, normally how people access their instructions or information is they come to the system, at least they use the physical interface, and they make requests. As they make requests, that command they send goes to the database and returns an answer. For example, if someone wants to check their account balance, you go in and punch some numbers or punch some instructions, and it pushes out your what's it called, your account balance for you, right? Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, kindly stay on mute so we can communicate. If I don't hear response, I feel like the network has disconnected me. Okay, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, so that process goes on without obstruction. But when when a bad person or a threat actor comes in, he does not carry out normal business as usual. What he does is he interferes with these instructions, these queries that goes into the database. His plan is to hijack the whole database and do some malicious stuffs with it. So now in the practical we're going to do shortly now, we are going to take route from one of the easiest weakness of an application and enter into its database and get command and control from there. That is the practical for
Mhm.
today. It's a mini penetration attack. It's a mini one.
Like terrorists are hijacking the control system
Exactly.
of an
Exactly. So we will find a
bad
way.
example.
We will find a way and get in as an admin. Right. Well, once you get in an admin right in any database or in any system, you have it all. You have control. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing. And in few steps, we're going to make that clear. So the technique specifically is going to be error-based SQL injection technique. Step one, we have to set up your environment. Sorry, set up your environment, your Kali machine, then Bob Suite, then we'll be needing Bob Suite and Foxy Proxy. Now, Bob Suite uh, does a lot of things, but specifically for what we're about to do today, what it's going to do is it's going to provide for us a sandbox, like an enclosure where we can trap time. I'm going to make it a little fun, where we can trap time and perform guesswork, because that is what they do. They guess until they get it right and they use it. So the challenge is we would not want to be doing the guesswork in the application because it's going to trigger an alert. True of us? True. But when you come and start guessing the passwords 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, the system is obviously going to shut you out, or
Yeah.
possibly yes, they'll get alert. So we will be able to trap time and use the sandbox and do the whole guessing we want to guess until we get the right one. Then that right one is what is going to be sent into the application, which will get us in. Boom, we will have access into the application. Now, Foxy Proxy is an extension that is being used by the browser. So it enables the Bob suite to trap the time. So, for instance, it actually hijacks the session. If Foxy Proxy is on, is only going to I don't know how to explain it, but your internet will stop. So it's like it freezes time. So it works hand in hand with the Bob suite to do the whole freezing of time and giving us what we want to do. So we're going to watch all those in action, and you will be also able to do all these on your own. So on the steps here, we say set up your environment, update and install Juice Shop. Juice Shop is the application that we're going to be using or running this stuff with. Micah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. When I was talking, I was getting re-echoes from your side. But I needed someone also to be online with me so that I wouldn't feel lost.
Yeah, I'm here. Echo.
Okay, so
See.
Yeah.
the first step is going to set up environment and update Juice Shop. Juice Shop is a potentially vulnerable application, which is an open source application out there built to run in your local system, in your local host. So when you build it up in your Kali machine and run it, set it up very well, it will be running on port 8080, localhost port 8080. So by the time you finish building it up, you can access it on this address. So once the build is finished, it will tell you, hey guy, I'm listening on port 8080. You could go search me on that website. So when you now go to this particular
Mhm.
website and you're gonna find the application, it's juice shop like Jume, but for juice. You understand? So it was built with a lot of vulnerabilities for exercises and test purposes for cybersecurity personnel. You got that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we will turn on the intercept on the Bob suite. Now, there is an interface in the Bob suite that lets us to use the intercept. Intercept does exactly what it does. It intercepts the section and breaks it down into Bob suite for us, where we could perform our practicals. Then once we turn on the intercept, we turn on the proxy proxy, which hijacks the section. So these steps we're going to experience them now. Okay, what is on the step 3? I think that's a repetition of what was here. Okay, let's jump right inside this. So you could see this, right?
Sorry, that's my heat. My heat just came up automatically. That
Oh,
sound.
okay, it's all right.
Yes.
Um, so, Mr. Gerard,
Yeah.
were you able
I'm here.
to take a look at the last class?
Right, right. To be honest, I didn't because um last class was my sister's first. I just got back from Abuja this morning, not up
Oh,
to an
okay,
hour.
okay,
Right. So I will do
okay.
that. I will do that this weekend.
It's
Yeah.
all right. It's all right. No problem. Why am I getting VBus client fatal error? CRTC disabled. Failed. Why am I getting that? Okay. And the recording is still going on just in case. Full screen mode. Yes. Okay. We could see that, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
So I will go straight to, first of all, the Bob suite. Recently, Bob suite should be on the Kali Linux when you set it, when you install it. Then if it's not, you could still, I think while I was using the Windows, I downloaded it and set it up on the Windows. But here is here. So I could just click on it and it comes up. Also, the browser, my browser is where I'm going to set up the Foxy proxy. Okay, the Foxy proxy is an extension, just like we have extensions and browser where you could just go look for a particular extension, maybe a downloader, etc. So the Foxy proxy can be found in the Mozilla Firefox extension. So we're going to get it out now. While it is loading, we're going to load up our command line, and it's asking me for access. Now the access is asking me for is because I want to use the root command line. Okay, so that is why I'm being asked to provide authentication. I think I made a mistake there.
I wanted to say there's a lot of login, a lot of password, and different application to log in. That's crazy. That is
So
crazy.
yeah, what I do is I developed a skill that has worked for me anyway. I don't know how vulnerable it is, but my passwords are shared into two. So half is stored um, in devices, then the other half is what I know. And what I know has to do with each specific application or interface I'm
Hmm.
accessing. And you know, no two interface or application has the same name or the same.
The same password.
Yes.
Wow, you must know a lot of password in your head.
No, I don't
Oh
actually keep
God.
the passwords. It is like a format I use. Now the format has, I just pick it up from any. If I'm on Kali, the format I'll pick it up from Kali. If I'm on social Facebook, I pick it up from Facebook. So the half that is on the device is saved on password manager. That is a half.
Oh, that makes sense.
So the other
That makes
half,
sense.
I know it on my head. I could just do the math and just
I
pick it
didn't know
up.
you can save half your password on a password manager. I didn't know that.
Okay, nobody says you should save, or it's not a hard rule to save. Who even knows it is half, unless you tell someone that that password is half. So the person could take it and okay, I've seen his password. He goes ahead to try it, but it's not correct. Then you, that is the owner, you already know that that's half of the password. The other half is in your head.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. That's smart.
Ah, so I get to jungle across all the applications and keep the passwords there. But it's all right. I believe the internet or the technology is going to passwordless these days, and I
Yeah.
hope I hope
Yeah.
we'll get there faster. So the Bob suite is coming up, and these are the initial dashboards you're going to see when it comes up. I will just click on next, so it should just get me the full um, to start the full project. Now on the command line, what I do every time, like a ritual, whenever I open a command line, is I'll check my address, IPA or IF config. Each one of them gives the same result. So I know my address. My address is 192.168.138.136. So the second thing I normally do is to list out all the devices that are on my network. So I do that with Nmap, X, and then any of the addresses that I can see, I'll just possibly use the one on the Kali here. 192.168.138. Okay, the port switch is off and it tells. So let's wrap up this 138.136. So this is my Kali machine's address. So with a /24 and the command, I could get the list of all the devices that are connected on this particular Wi-Fi or router or this network. So in a few seconds, you should get that result out. Okay, here you see it, right? I have
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
136.253. I also have
One
194
nine
194
and
and
126.
126.
Yeah. Gerard, can you mute?
Yep.
Oh, thank you. I think Third World War was happening on your background. It's all right. Don't mind me. So, uh, I dropped a sheet, a table sheet, few weeks ago on the group where it's like a table where I keep track of the devices and the IP addresses. So I did that in a way that every morning or every time I come to my desk, I run a check to know that okay, this device is still with this address because networks, if you've not had imprinted them like I've imprinted you must use this address. Most times they will switch addresses. They will give it, they assign it as per first come, first serve or availability. I don't know whether you get me.
Yeah, yeah,
I do.
I understand.
Okay, to make you understand more, the router issues these addresses to the devices. So let's say, for example, my wife's phone uses dot 104, for example. That's 192.168.138.104. My wife's phone might be using dot 104. Now, if she's not around in the house and I'm in the network, that dot 104 can actually be assigned to another device at home that I'm using. You understand? So if I come and I just blindly walk with that, thinking that I'm right, meanwhile I'll be very wrong. You understand the reason why I do these checks almost every time. So and also it makes me keep my hand, oily on the work. So can we go ahead?
You go.
Can we go ahead?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So the command to bring up the what's it called juice shop. I've already built the juice shop, and I think have I even sent you guys how to maybe not your class how to install the juice shop. I think there's a video on how to get it done. Okay, let's go out first. First, I'm going to go into the roots of the folder of where the juice shop is installed. But just in case, let me try running it out here without going into the folder where it was installed, like changing of directories. Let me just run it out there and see. Um, npm start. Let's see if it can be able to pick it up from the directory where it is. Okay, you can see what did it write?
Code,
npm,
what's that?
yeah, code not
Code,
error.
yeah, open, yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Root
gonna
package.
yeah, I'm gonna change directly into where I downloaded the what's it called, the juice shop. So first of all, I'll go into the downloads because it's into the downloads. How am I going to change the directory into the download? cd slash home slash the name, my name of the that's the name of my machine.
Username.
Yes, no, the name of my machine, the username, my username.
Yeah,
Okay. If you
yeah,
remember when I was logging in at first, when I was coming into the machine at first, I had to log in with my username that you use for when setting up your Kali. You always have to keep it at hand, both the username and the password, because most times when you want to perform administrative tasks, it will require you to log in. Okay. So now inside the downloads, inside my download folder, that is where the juice shop was installed. So now I am changing directly into the downloads. So you could see I have the root Kali, then in extension downloads. So I am inside the downloads. You get that right?
Yep.
Okay. So now while inside the download, I'm going to also go into the juice shop, because the juice shop folder is inside a folder that is inside the download. Okay. Now I am inside the download, then inside the folder of the juice shop. Now I can run the command of how to start it is npm start. Then it starts to build the system. So at any time it's you call it up, it builds this application, like it compiles it in your browser. So when it's done, it's going to tell you, hey guy, I'm done compiling. You could find me out on this port 8080. It's going to show you, and it will tell you I am currently listening. So you know that okay, you can access it. Now let us quickly run and access that address and see whether we will be able to get any success before it's finished building it. Do you get me?
Yep.
Okay, and that address is localhost 3000. That's where it is, and we can't connect to it. But when it is done, we will be able to open it. It's just like it's building up and compiling the build. So once it's done, then it's available there. Okay, now you see here, look at this line. What did it say?
It's available, but 3,000 is available.
Good. Then server listening. So what does that mean from what I explained?
Server what?
Server listening on for 3000. What does that mean from what I explained?
That means something is connecting to the server. The server is working or pinging. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't want to use pinging.
the
It's active.
juice shop has compiled and is done. So it's now available, it's reachable. So this local host
Yeah.
3000 that we tried to access some minutes back that is not available, when we reload it back, we will get the application we're looking for. Voila.
So what you just explained,
Yeah.
it's a long explanation to
Yes.
a layman, but
Yes.
what you ended up doing is that you've been able to set up your juke shop
Mm-hmm.
that it's connected or listening
Mm-hmm.
to your server. Is that
Mm-hmm.
what you did? Huh.
What I
And the
did,
only way you could verify it is to use Nmap to check.
okay, Nmap is the builder. Nmap is the builder, is the command that builds. So the first step is download Juice Shop. Okay, Juice Shop that uh, is how do I put it? That is a current, because before you do any download, you have to do an app update, so you could update the current dependencies on the Kali Linux. So whatever you're downloading will be an up-to-date version. You understand that, right? That's simple.
Mm.
So now, then you download online. You go to Google, look for example, if I go to Google now, I could search download Juice Shop, download Juice Shop, Juice Shop. Let me give this guy some space a bit. Okay, so you see, the first result I have here is from GitHub, and we have a second one here from Search Force. And I think when you look at the change in color, it means that I've visited here before. Could you see that? So when you go to Google and search for something that you visited before, the color there's going to be a color change showing that
So
you
which one is the best to download from? Is it from OWASP? Oh,
let's look at this one that I visited before because if I have been here
okay.
before, that means it must have helped me to get it out. So let's enter here and see what it has.
SourceForge. SourceForge.
SourceForge.net. So most of all these open source applications are for the strong actually because if you get if you're working with how do I put it organizational softwares that are paid for premium softwares that are paid for. It's just easy. If you have issues, you
Mm-hmm.
call them and they fix it up right away for you. But when you're using what's it called, open
The
source,
free version.
yes, you
Yeah.
have to go the extra mile to fix it, and those fixes actually brings out the best in you somehow if you have time on your
Yeah.
hands. Yeah. Okay, so I think it gives us the direct load download link. So now we could actually you see the size. You could see the size, right? 183.1 megabyte.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could actually go ahead and download this, and it will go into your download folder. Then when it is in your download folder, you will do this first. You change your directory into your download folder. Simple how to go inside there or how to know where this directory is. Let me open a terminal, a folder. So this is my folder. Of course, you're going to see the name, your username on top. So I'll go to downloads. Now inside the download, you could see my Juice Shop folder, right?
Yeah.
So it's in. I think it's when it's downloading, it's going to download an archived file. Then when you what's it called, decompress it, it comes out as a normal folder.
Yeah.
So the best way to pick up the change of directory is just to highlight. Just click on the space here. It will highlight the address. You copy and go to the command line and put it in. So let me get a new window for that so we could see. Uh, let me go back to the root. So
So
now I
Brian.
am yes. Hello, are you with me? Hello, are you with me? Hmm, now it has started. So this is on the proxy. If I double click this, okay, this is it. I named mine Brian Caleb Bob. Then the title, that's what I named it. The type is going to be HTTP. There's a lot of types here, but you put it on HTTP. Now, all these things have significances. Since the application we are looking for is a vulnerable application, potentially vulnerable application, it should be accessible on port 80 and not port 443, which is HTTPS. Do you get the analogy? Port
No.
80. Port 80 is HTTP, which is not secure. That's why you always get that padlock that is unlocked there.
Yeah.
But HTTPS means it's secured, and that HTTPS
Yeah.
is on port 443. Okay, so
Okay.
that's why I said as you move on a career and use and do practicals more, you will get used to the port numbers and their usage. So So the color, I actually chose the color to be green. You could choose yours anyhow, but why I chose green is if I switch it on and I see green, then my mind tells me is okay. My head says it's on. Green is on. So you can actually choose white or any other color depending on your preference. Then on the host name, it's going to be 127.0.0.1. Then on the port, it is 8080.
Mhm.
Then username, nothing, password, nothing. Then you just save it. Just save it. And it's good to go. So when you could, assuming you're coming new and press the add button, that's what you're gonna get a blank proxy
This
detail.
proxy, right?
Yes, it is. This proxy proxy. And how
Okay.
did we get in here? You may ask. Are you asking that question?
No, no, no. I ask you how, if this is Foxy Project. I think you did it through the extension, right?
Yes,
You installed it as an extension after
exactly.
downloading.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
from the extension, you'll get to the add to Firefox.
Oh, so you have to download Firefox then
Firefox
into
automatically
your
comes
hardware.
with Kali Linux.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Like I said, I've not
yeah,
installed Kali Linux. That's why.
it's alright. So
Okay.
it automatically
I'm
comes
still
with.
behind.
It's alright.
Yeah. Okay.
I told you this class is actually the
Will
last.
be a little bit.
This class
Yeah.
is the last class which was supposed to be the wrap up of the penetration testing class, and I have to go this back again because of you, and it's well
Yeah. I'm
appreciated.
sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. So you'll get it from your add. Once you press the add to Firefox, the extension will pop up here, and when you click it, you could see this. If you don't see this, that means there is no one. You could add new. Let me add new and see. Quick add. What's going to happen if I write quick add? Or options. Okay. Option takes me to where I could get all those details. Then I'll just go to
Mhm.
the proxy. Now in the proxy, once I click add new, this add, I'm going to get a blank proxy details. This is as blank as it comes. Okay. So now when you're watching the video, you pause it when I opened mine here like this. So I could now literally duplicate the informations I have here, duplicate and save. That's just it. I hope that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, while I was in school, we had practicals, and that was I think that was the chemistry practical. So the lecturer stood there. He was teaching. He was asking. After the whole experiment, he taught on the blackboard. He asked any question. Everybody said no. I said I have question. He said okay, ask. I said the question I have is not now. I will have question when I start doing it. He
That's
laughed.
almost similar. In fact,
Yeah,
you are a smart man. You echoed what I had in mind. In as much
yeah,
as I'm following these
yeah.
steps, I know I'm behind. So I just thought to myself, I said, when I schedule that time with you,
Yeah,
download, go through my home setup, I'll
yeah.
have a lot of questions there.
Of
But anyway,
course, you will. So I'm always available to assist you to get you up to speed. I told someone,
I
for
appreciate.
me, it's not just about the money that comes with the training. For me, it's something that I love to do. I don't know whether I told you
I
this.
can tell.
I have someone who paid 100,000. 100,000 should be equivalent to, I think either 50 something dollars or thereabout, or even more than that. He paid, but he
Yeah.
never came to class for once. Till today, he hasn't. So it's not just about I want to be able to push out this information as I'm getting there because I'm getting from somewhere. That's how life
Yeah,
goes. I'm getting from somewhere as I'm
that's true.
working and pushing it down to the community. And who knows where people who could lay hands on it could get better and in turn, make things
Yeah.
better for others. Okay.
Honestly, you have to be passionate about this industry, whether you're doing the technical side or if you're not passionate, because there's so much, so
So
many things to learn.
much. And I try as much as possible not to get. It's easier to get confused than to
Oh
stay
yeah,
on track. It's very easy to get confused than to stay on track. Why do I say so? If, for example, in a particular topic, like say this is a home lab, we're just trying to do some little practicals and exercises on projects around our home lab. Okay, dive diving off from the topics that are in this place could take you so far away, deep down.
yeah,
It could take you down. So I try to curtail. I use ChatGPT to give myself a curriculum of my own project. I'll tell ChatGPT ensure that the exercise I'm going to do next still correlates with my home lab practical. He says, okay, it does, or it doesn't. Then I keep myself in check. Else, you might just find yourself beating around the bush. Now, that reminds me before I forget. I think maybe a bonus class for you and what's his name again? Let's
Vin-
see. George. It should be George thereabout. I think that has interest also in Jersey. I think we're going to do a bonus class on Jersey. So the last stuffs that I posted in the group, I was trying to do some audit and compliance assessment tests on an application. So I got some results, I got some failures and passing. So I posted the progress on the group and he reached out to me and honestly asked that I should find a way to you know, get a time for you guys to do. So probably next week in our free time, I'll get a class for us to do. We'll look into policies, guidelines, and what's it called again? I think there are three of them: policy, guidelines, and stuff. Then also go into compliance. So basic practicals you might be able to do to correlate some compliance and policies as regards to STGIs and NIST 850 and all those long numbers.
yeah,
I connect more when I see them in practical than just reading reading through
yeah.
them. So,
And those standards are like, if you want to read it, there
mm,
are so much that yeah, the practical makes more sense. A
yeah.
quick question, just
Okay.
before you wrap up.
Okay.
Um, I have a desktop. I asked you earlier, but you didn't hear me.
Okay.
I have a desktop which I enjoy working with,
Okay.
but that desktop is overloaded, so it's so slow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to replace. I've had it for almost 10 years.
Okay.
It's an Acer desktop.
Okay. Esa.
What standard computer would you recommend? Because I'm currently using my laptop, and I don't enjoy using the laptop to
Mm,
do technical stuff.
yeah.
What do you recommend? Start either by brand or RAM. Do you
Yeah.
recommend
I
for
think.
someone who wants to practice a lot?
Yeah. I think ESA has proven what's it called strong in what's it
Acer,
called? Yes, ESA has proven strong in the industry also in their what's it called built-in modifications, especially RAMs and others for the advanced ones, the new ones I've seen even on time. So, but you're going to be looking at what's the RAM size of your current desktop? Are you aware?
I don't even. I have to check. I don't know
Okay.
because it's slow. Oh, it's slow. I don't know the RAM. I believe there's something wrong with it. I need
Yeah, it
to.
might be around
Yeah.
4 gig RAM, but if you're going to get really busy, and of course, I know you should get really busy with practicals, so you're going to get a system with at least minimum 12 gig RAM, then
Okay. 12
12
gig.
gig RAM, minimum 12 gig RAM. If you get 12 gig RAM, good. If you get above it, good. But for me, the specifications I'm giving to you is what I want to do for myself. So you might
Yeah.
work. So I would
It's a
want to.
project I'm working on. I want to make sure I get it done before December
Okay,
ending.
good, good. uh, desktop, all in 3-in-1 desktop. I believe that's what you mean. 3-in-1 desktop, all
Yeah.
in one. Yeah, that also has what's it called? The processor speed that is good. At least uh, my normal laptop has two 2 gigahertz, but I would want to get something that has at least 6 plus ahead, so it could increase the speed. So once
Yeah.
your RAM is up to date, like up there, 12 gig RAM and above, then your speed is good. I believe most of the issues and slowness will go away.
Because I don't have internet issues. I don't. It's
Yeah,
very hard for
this
me to have
this
internet
yeah,
issues.
the system
So if
running
my
itself.
internet is solid, I don't
Mhm.
want my computer to be the one slowing me down.
Yeah.
I just want to dedicate that to my cybersecurity
Hmm.
stuff because I have other stuff I do.
Hmm.
Cybersecurity, I'm
Will be
still
on the
new.
desktop.
I have not even gotten my first job yet, and
Okay.
I'm not rushing
Yeah.
because I have a good job I'm doing, but it's
Okay.
a long-term transition plan for me.
Okay.
I want to do all the practice on the technical side of things.
Hmm.
That's why I'm
Hmm.
asking someone who is technical.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
makes
So
sense.
that would be a good start for it. Then, as the need arises, then you know where to fix or what to get. So we don't just go around throwing away
Money.
space. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So we'll
Okay.
start with this, then let the need necessitate more machine or much machine strength.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
The class will almost end, and okay,
I appreciate your time.
I wouldn't want to. Okay, look at what we're going to do. This is so exceptional. We're going to stop here, and I know you've already had a lot to take in. We're going to stop here so you could get to at least this stage. If you can get to this stage, good. Within the week, good. Then, even if you cannot, as your program has ended, you're still in the community. Anytime you call upon me, so far as I have the time, I will always assist you, and we'll get
Okay.
over it.
Were you hoping to give any sort of certificate of completion beside the ISC
Yes,
too?
yes,
That's
there is. There is. On request,
okay.
actually. Most people don't. But the people who request for it, at least for their resume update, is still there.
Yeah. I'm going to request when I've done my
Okay.
home lab setup
Okay.
and I've done some personal stuff. So for
Okay.
now, no.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. We'll make it available for you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Brian.
Thank you.
I'll reach out to you to let you to check when you are available to help me with my home lab setup.
No problem about that. That'll be fine. It's all right. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much and
Yeah.
God bless.
God bless. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.